today is Learn the Basics of Google Ads. This is a Grow with Google webinar, which means all of the content today is from Google. So you are getting the absolute Learn the Basics of Google Ads straight from Google. And the Grow with Google program is a partnership between the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce and Google. It is a partnership that nonprofits and educational institutions can take advantage of. And today is the Learn the Basics of Google Ads. I am Vito Curcuru, owner of Consult Vito, founder and CEO. That is my email address, and that is my website. And my phone number is 586-215-4270, which is also on my website. I am president of the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. This webinar is being brought to you by Consult Vito and the Chamber. And also I am a Constant Contact certified partner, which means I've taken a lot of training on email, often give webinars on email best practices. So if you have any questions about email or marketing in general, it's part of my role in the Chamber. I do give a 1-hour free consultation / discovery session. Basically, it is my goal to give people information about marketing, digital marketing, and any type of other marketing or public relations that you may have, any questions, and to give information to assist, try and give you some free or low-cost ideas to assist. And again, I do that on behalf of the Chamber. It's one of the services I offer as president. So no obligation and no cost. It is about an hour or so consultation. Let's go ahead and get right on to the webinar. Today, we'll start with a quick overview of online advertising and how Google Ads works. I'll walk you through the process of setting up your ads account and creating your first ad, and show you 2 ways to create ad campaigns. Next, we're going to cover tips for creating better ads. And after that, we'll talk about how you can measure the success of your ad campaigns. And then I'll wrap up the session by sharing more training resources. Do want to mention that all this information can be yours if you want the PDF of the presentation, and there will be a recording that will appear on the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce YouTube channel of this webinar. And if you want the PDF, again, just vito@consultvito.com, and I will send you the PDF of this presentation. Businesses large and small use Google Ads to appear on search result pages, web pages, videos, and apps. To connect with your target audience and get results, you need to be found online where potential customers can see you. Online advertising can be particularly effective with those potential customers researching and shopping for the types of products and services you offer. How often do you head over to Google to research a possible purchase? Or maybe you just want to confirm that an item is in stock. While you're there, you might discover different products too. And this happens all the time. You might say that people no longer go online, they're living online. And that's not just a catchy phrase, it's what the data shows us. In 2019, almost half of surveyed shoppers said they use Google to discover new products, and more than half said they were using Google to research their purchases. For businesses that want to sell products and services, each search is an opportunity to connect with potential customers. So how do ads work on Google? Well, it starts when someone wants to know something, go somewhere, buy something, or do something. So let's imagine someone is searching for a holiday gift for a friend. She grabs whatever device is handy, a computer, laptop, tablet, smartphone, and visits google.com to search for an answer. She's not sure what she's looking for, so she types in a word or phrase that describes what she needs, maybe a gift for a book lover or a gift for foodies. That's the search query, to see what turns up. Google shows a search results page, which is a list of websites and info resources related to the search, including relevant ads. Now, these ads are chosen by an advertiser auction that runs in real time. In a matter of milliseconds, Google will determine the auction winner and display it on the search results page. Whether or not a particular ad is offered to that customer depends on how the ad was set up, including the ad's bid and the advertiser's budget. The bid is the maximum amount an advertiser will pay for a click on an ad. The amount of the bid and budget isn't the only factor that determines if an ad is shown to a particular searcher. The system also considers the ad's quality. In other words, a high quality ad with a lower bid and smaller budget can get great visibility too. If the searcher sees something in the results that looks like a good fit, she clicks onto it to learn more. If she clicks an ad, she's directed to a page on the advertiser's website. And if she searches from a smartphone and there's a phone number associated with the ad, she can click to initiate a call that connects her directly to the advertiser's business. So we're going to talk about this more in depth, but keep in mind that ad quality score, because this is the way a small business can really compete against large businesses. And that search query, remember what those words are as well, because the more work you can do on the front end to set up your account and your search buckets and making that ad high quality, the more money you're going to save. There is a direct correlation and relationship. I also recommend to anyone, this can feel complicated, but Google has a lot of great training. And once you start to understand it, and once you start to get into it and you start to test it, you'll most likely have success. So there are many ad formats, including text ads, image ads, shopping ads, dynamic search ads, call-only ads, and video ads. And as you can see here, ads can appear in different places on a search results page, from images across the top to blocks of text running down the side. So you can see where those ads show up. They'll say ad, as you can see in the middle of the screen. And on the top there, on the right, this is where you're going to see a lot of the ads. Now this workshop is going to focus on the text ads. Text ads can appear on Google search results pages and across the display network partner websites that show Google's ads. In this screenshot, you can see what a text ad looks like with a headline and 3-line description that appears under the word ad. So when you see that word ad, it's a text ad, which is what we're going to talk about today. In today's workshop, these text ads are talked about. It's really probably the most popular and easiest ways to get set up and started on Google Ads. So I would suggest to kind of get your feet wet here. You may have heard the terms PPC or CPC, and they stand for pay per click and cost per click. Text ads on Google search use a pay per click pricing model. This means advertisers pay for ad clicks, not simply to appear on the search results page. The display network offers other bidding options like cost per thousand, cost per view for video ads, but today, again, we're going to focus on this pay per click model using text ads. So that's an important distinction. The display network is a little bit different. That's why sometimes you'll see ads on sites from Google as kind of images and pictures. So the first thing you need to do, and this is before really using any of Google's products and services, create or sign into a free Google account. This is setting up your Gmail. A Google account is simply a username and password that lets you sign in once to access connected Google products like Gmail, Google Docs, Google My Business. And here we have a screenshot of what you'll see when you're prompted to sign in or create an account. Just ask simply for an email or phone number associated with it. You can use that Gmail address or register another email address if you prefer. So now we're going to set up Google Ads. After you've logged in, visit g.co/ads to set up your ads account, or simply look up Google Ads or at Google AdWords. And the screenshot here shows a sample ad with the relevant search term, as well as a button labeled Start Now. When you get to that page, just go ahead and click that. There's no fees to set up an account. There's no startup fee, no cancellation fee, no minimum commitment, and no contract. You can turn ad campaigns on and off as often as you wish. With pay-per-click, you only pay if someone expresses an interest in your ad by clicking on it. You don't pay for people who aren't interested in it. This means you pay for results, and it's easier to measure your success. If your ad isn't giving you the results you want, you can edit your ad, pause it, and cancel it at any time. You only pay for the clicks that already happened. So important distinction, again, paying for clicks. So if your ad shows up, no one clicks on it, you're not paying for that impression. Other big piece of information I always tell people, always tell clients, and anyone interested in Google Ads, set a budget, stick to it, don't overspend your money. So a lot of people go to Google Ads or Facebook Ads, they get excited, they put $500 down, they put $700 down, they tell Google, let's spend $500 in a week. Well, whatever you tell Google or Facebook to spend, Google and Facebook will spend in that amount of time. If you ask it to spend $10,000, it'll find a way to spend $10,000. If you ask it to spend $5 a day or $10 a day or $20 a day, it'll find a way to spend that money. So you want to make sure that you have that budget in mind when you set up your program. Next, select an advertising goal. When you first open your ads account, Google's going to take you through the steps to set up what's called a smart campaign. Smart campaigns are Google's solution for small businesses. Smart campaigns use Google's technology to automate campaign management to help reach business goals. As you can see in the screenshot, Google Ads will ask you a question, such as what's your main advertising goal, and offer several options to choose from. In this case, including get more calls, get more website sales or signups, and get more visits to your physical location. So to start, select one of 3 goals for a specific ad, and if you have more than one goal, then you need more than one ad. Enter your business name. This should be the name that you want your future customers to know. The screenshot shows that what you're going to see during this step: a space to enter your business name, as well as a few options for help if you need it. Next, step 3, add your website address. You're going to enter the website address that you want people to visit. The image here shows what this page will look like with a prompt. Tell people where to go after they click your ad and a space to fill in your website. This may not necessarily be your website's homepage. Ideally, a click on an ad would take the searcher directly to the most relevant web page that leads to the sale or desired outcome of the ad. So this might be a page with a particular product or service the ad is promoting. The message on your ad should match the message on the web page you send people to, and that's where we're going to get that quality score. So remember, you're setting up a new campaign, a new ad. If you're selling shoes on your website, you're going to want the web page that has shoes on it to be that web address. If you're just trying to drive people directly to your homepage, then you use the homepage. It's important to remember, and that's what's going to help your quality score. The ad's going to relate to the website page that you're sending people to, and it's going to relate to the content on that page. Step 4, write your ad. Now you're going to write a text ad, and in this slide, you can see the form you fill out to create your ad with clearly labeled lines for headlines and descriptions. An automatic word count lets you know how much space you have, and an image displays a sample ad next to the form. There is a box you can check to add a call button to your ad with an accompanying line to fill the phone number. During the setup, you'll write one ad. Later, you have the option to create ad variations. You also have the option to add a clickable phone number that can help searchers on smartphones connect directly by initiating a call from your ad. But we're going to talk more about writing effective ads later in this workshop. Now, step 5, add keyword themes. In smart campaigns, you're going to be asked to select keyword themes. These themes should be related to the product or service being advertised. The system will suggest themes, and you can turn that off if they're not a good fit for your ad. But remember, you can add more themes, and there may be more suggestions again to choose from. Remembering that the theme should match the message in the specific ad, not necessarily everything your business has to offer. So if you're boutique clothing store, you're selling shoes, this ad's going to be about shoes. It doesn't necessarily have to be about the rest of the inventory you're carrying, because you're going to direct people right to that page about shoes. Next, step 6, select location. Select geographic locations where your ads are eligible to appear. Google Ads gives you a variety of options, including zip codes, cities, regions, or a radius around an address. On this slide, a screenshot shows how typing in an address will pull it up in a Google Maps snapshot that you can use to specify a location. If using a radius, you can target from 3 to 40 miles around the location. You can adjust these settings later. So think about some real-world applications. I have a client, it's a school, and enrollment is generally within 10 miles of the school. So we only target within 10 miles of the school. If you're a hair salon or if you're a makeup artist and you only want to travel 50 miles from your home, then you need to only put in 50-mile radius from your address. If you're a retailer and you think that you could sell to anyone, anywhere in the country, then maybe you expand your geography. But realistically, keep in mind geography, this is where it's going to be both beneficial to you and somewhat risky. Because when you hear that geo-targeting, we're going to go after this zip code, we're going to go after that zip code, you can do all of that. And I would suggest that you start a little bit smaller geography and then expand out, especially if you have a physical location, because you want to drive people through that door. If you're just going online in general, you can start with the US, but we're going to find a way to kind of break down some of that target for you, because that's a lot of opportunity, and maybe would require a much larger budget if you targeted the entire US. Set a budget. Perhaps the most important area when I work with people. Set a budget. You have to choose a daily average budget. The daily average budget is the average amount you could spend each day. And here's a screenshot that shows what you'll see during this step, including one labeled recommended. Toggling between the options allow you to see an estimate of how many daily clicks you'll get with each. There's also an option to enter your own budget. With smart campaigns, you're ultimately setting a maximum monthly budget. While your daily and spend may vary, the total amount that you spend in a month won't exceed your maximum monthly budget. And here's how it's calculated. Google Ads will multiply your average daily budget by 30.4, which is the average number of days in the month. If you increase the budget in the middle of a billing period, the maximum amount that you'll be charged for that month will be your new average daily budget times the number of days remaining in the month. And if you receive fewer clicks than you budgeted for, then you'll be charged for the clicks you received. For example, if you set a maximum budget of $50, but you only receive $13 of clicks, you'll be charged $13. However, again, make sure the budget you're setting, you're willing to spend all of it. For the first couple of weeks, you probably won't hit your budget number, but then Google will start to serve the ads quickly and in a way to maximize your budget, to maximize that spend, which is what you had indicated. But I always tell people to use caution, because more than once, as I said before, I've had clients where before I started working with them, they never wanted to touch Google AdWords again because they had spent $700 in a week. And I asked, well, what did you set the budget at? And they said, well, we set it at $700. I said, well, that's the thing about Google, Facebook, or any one of these, or LinkedIn advertising, or Twitter. If you tell them what to spend, they'll spend it. Now, finish up, you'll have an opportunity to review your campaign and settings and make any changes. You'll be asked to enter payment info and set up optional conversion tracking. This slide shows what the page will look like when you're finished, with a celebratory image and a button you can click to explore your campaign. Now, getting into managing your ad campaign. You can review your campaign at any time to make changes and layer on some additional options, such as ad scheduling, which is going to allow you to pick days of the week and times of the day when ads are eligible to appear. So if you're a restaurant and you want to run Google Ads and you want to run a dinner special for the week, maybe you want to run your ads between 3 and 6. Monday to Friday, because it's only good, the special is good Monday to Friday, 3 to 6, then that's when you want to specify it. That's one of the really nice things about Google Ads. You can get down to that date and time. And that will also obviously affect when you want to have staff. So think about, if, let's hope these ads work. Think about some of the permutations of that after you start setting this up. And ad scheduling is useful because obviously if you're closed nights or closed weekends, you might not want your ad to run at that time. And on this ad, you can see an example of what you'll see when managing your campaign. It includes the name of the campaign as well as graphs that show impressions, clicks, total amount spent, keyword themes, and search phrases and images of your ads. So you have a lot of information in here. And again, the impressions are the number of times your ad is put on that page. Clicks is the time when you're paying for it. And the amount spent is how much is spent based on that cost per click, which is the 214. But this person's ads have been seen 137,255 times. 214 people have clicked on them, or 214 clicks have happened because one person could click on the ad multiple times, and the amount spent is $144.33. So now let's get into comparing some campaign options. The campaign we just set up, that's a smart campaign. Now, some advertisers with more experience choose to set up campaigns in expert mode. And expert mode offers the full range of Google Ads features and campaign types. It gives advertisers more complete control over their bidding strategies and requires more complex management. That's why we recommend it for advanced marketers and advertisers. I will tell you, I use the expert mode, and you can get up to speed rather quickly. If you give yourself 3 or 4 hours, good solid hours, breaking out that over the course of a couple of weeks, you can get into expert mode pretty fast and start to get in the nuances and start to do a little heavier targeting and a little more exact and precise way to use Google Ads. Don't be afraid of Google Ads. The explanations and the training they have is excellent, and it's free. And with expert mode, you can create search campaigns, display campaigns, video campaigns, app campaigns, and shopping campaigns. The chart on this slide compares smart campaigns with search campaigns created in expert mode. Both campaigns show ads in the same places on Google.com. But expert mode is better suited for experienced marketers who need advanced controls, tools, and reporting to manage their ads. When you get strong results with this type of campaign, it's recommended you manage it on a daily basis. So again, don't be afraid of expert mode. Automated mode can get you started. As far as looking at it every day, I'd recommend giving yourself about a week to get some learnings, to get your feet wet if you're just starting any campaign or any ad, and then starting to go in and really take a close look at trying to make changes. So, transitioning to expert mode. As I mentioned at the beginning of this workshop, we're focused on text ads. I just showed you how to create an ad using smart campaigns. Now I'm going to show you how to use expert mode to create a text ad that will show up in Google search. To switch from smart campaign to expert mode, navigate to a new campaign. If you started a smart campaign but didn't complete it, you may have to click the back button to start a new ad. Click the switch to expert mode link that's towards the bottom of your screen. In the screenshot, you can see the link appears below the main text of the page, following the words, "Are you a professional marketer?" And of course you are. We all are. Creating that search campaign. When you're in expert mode, start at the All Campaigns page and click a new campaign. You will select a goal, and then you need to select a campaign type. To create a standard search campaign, click the option labeled Search as shown in this screenshot. Now here's a side note. If you're here and you decide you'd rather create another smart campaign, just click the Express option. So no worries if you want to back out. Now, improving your ads. Once you get used to setting up ads, you're going to want some strategies to improve them. So what's in a text ad? Earlier in the training, I showed you the process of writing your ad, and here's a bit more information about that. Headlines appear at the top of your ad and can be up to 30 characters. Your headlines and other parts of your ad, including extensions, may show in different configurations based on the device that a potential customer is using, or when Google Ad predicts and it may improve your performance. So thinking about, well, on your phone, there's only so many characters that will appear versus your laptop, versus a desktop, versus a tablet. Your ad description line appears below the URL. It can be up to 90 characters. As other screenshots shows, you'll see a visual representation of what your ad will look like as you fill out the text. So as you're going down that create an ad on the right, you're going to see what it's looking like as it's being built. Like the title, your description and other parts of your ad, including extensions, may show in different configurations based on the device or when Google Ads predicts that it may improve ad performance. The final URL is the page on your website that people reach after clicking your ad. Again, this may not be your home page, but it should be the match of the product your ad promotes. So here are some tips on writing the great ads. It's important to focus on showcasing the most relevant, compelling information in your ad. A promotion and call to action for your potential customers can also encourage clicks. A great ad highlights what makes your product or service unique. You might want to include prices, promotions, and exclusives, empower customers to take action, include at least one of your keywords, and always check spelling and grammar. Typos look unprofessional and of course can hurt an otherwise compelling ad campaign. Here's a few more ways to improve your ad. If you're in expert mode, create very specific target audiences and ad groups so that your ads appear more relevant to customers. So creating ad groups, you're going to take keywords that people search on. That was that search query we talked about earlier. You're going to create buckets of keywords that you think people are searching on. And then you're going to build an ad based on those keywords. And you're going to make that ad go directly to that page. And those are the three things that are going to help you with a low cost per click and your ad quality score. The headline's going to match the copy in the ad. It's then going to match the content to the page you're driving the ad to. Headline, copy, page, keywords. Headline copy is the ad, the keyword buckets, and then the page. And sometimes you want to get as specific as you can on those keyword ads, on those ad words, because if you want to put in, if it's a one page has sandals and you have 4 kinds of sandals, you can choose those ad words, that bucket of ad words to be very specific about the kind of sandals you have on that page, because that's going to improve your quality score and make that cost per click cheaper. Include the keywords directly related to that specific theme of your ad, website, product, or service, so it's easy for your target to find. If you're creating a smart campaign, Google's going to help take care of those keywords for you. And no matter what version of ads you're using, create simple, enticing ads that stand out from the competition by offering solutions to customer pain points, promotions, or unique features. Use a strong call to action that encourages users to click on your ad and helps them understand what they can do once they reach your website. So for example, click here to save 20% or call us for your free consultation. Test out multiple ads by experimenting with different offers and calls to action while monitoring their effectiveness through indicators such as your click-through or conversion rate. Regularly review your campaign performance to help figure out the best ways to achieve your goals. This is all about experimenting and making changes to improve your ads over time. Keywords, search phrases for smart campaigns. If you create a smart campaign, you can take advantage of keyword themes. These themes help the system automatically generate keywords for the campaigns called search phrases that determine when ads should appear. Search phrases are automatically generated based on the selected keyword themes, and that's why it's important to accurately choose those keyword themes so your ads can appear for the right customers. Now, in this screenshot, you see some search phrases that were created for the advertiser based on themes. So for example, choosing the keyword theme online spice store might generate such phrases as essential spices, specialty spices, and ground pepper. Smart campaigns will determine how precisely search phrases need to match the searcher's query That's called the match type. It also determines how much of your budget should be allocated to an individual click. That's the bid. It's the maximum amount you will pay for a click on an ad within your budget. So with smart campaigns, you can't add additional search phrases, but you can remove them if they aren't a good fit for your business. Which again, if you go into expert mode, you'll create those buckets of keywords and you can start to get precisely into where you need to go. If you're building a search campaign at an expert mode, you'll use keywords and not search phrases. Keywords are not created automatically. You must create and manage the keywords that can trigger ads. And here's a tip that can help you create effective keyword lists. Implementing match types. Match types control how precisely the search query needs to match a keyword. The default is called a broad match. Google Ads automatically runs your ads on related variations of your keywords, including synonyms, misspellings, and many other related searches, including searches that don't contain the keyword terms. But if you want to be more restrictive on what search queries can trigger your ads, you might want to try phrase match. A phrase match keyword is surrounded by quotation marks. With phrase match, you can show your ad to customers who are searching for your exact keyword and close variants of your exact keyword with additional words before or after. Phrase match is more targeted than the default broad match, but more flexible than our third option, which is exact match. Exact match keywords are surrounded by square brackets. With exact match, you can show your ad to customers who are searching for your exact keyword, close variants of your exact keyword. Close variants include searches for keywords with the same meanings as the exact keywords, regardless of spelling or grammar similarities between the query and keyword. Of the 4 keyword matching options, exact match gives you the most control over who sees your ad and can result in a higher click-through rate. The last one is negative keywords. Negative keywords let you exclude search terms from your campaigns. Now that's a lot of information and it can be difficult to sort through. My general recommendation is to start broad. When you start to get into phrase, exact, and negative, it's a good way to save money. So for example, if you're in the mortgage business, the word mortgage is one of the most expensive words you can buy, and it's one of the most expensive groups of words, as is bank. So you may want to go into mortgage Michigan under a phrase, or an exact mortgages in West Bloomfield, or in a negative mortgages USA. You might want to have USA as a negative keyword. So what it does is allows you to both save money, allows you to get very targeted, but generally speaking, broad is a good way to start. And broad is really going to give you, again, if let's say I was searching for ESPN and I put in RSPN, but Google believes ESPN is probably what you're looking for, then your ad would show up with your ESPN. If you're Bob's Florist and someone types in Bob SR, accidentally fat fingers on the keyboard, while Bob's or Florist, Bob's Florist will come up. Or, when you get into those negative keywords and exact and phrases, you really are able to get into the exact words you want. But I'd recommend starting on broad, because what broad's going to do is going to give you some learnings. Combine this with your Google Analytics, which is a free product, and your Google Search Console, which you can link to your analytics, and you can really start to understand what people are searching for when they come to your site. Keyword Planner for search campaigns. To find keywords for your search campaigns, you can use Keyword Planner. This is a free tool to discover new keywords related to your business and see estimates of the searches that they receive and the cost to target them. In this screenshot, you can see some of the information the tool gives you, including average monthly searches, competition, and ad impression share. Keyword Planner also provides another way to create search campaigns that's centered around in-depth keyword research. So keyword research, this is going to give you, Google gives you a sense of, if this is your business, this is your web page, here's what they believe would be good keywords for you to select. Highly recommend that, using that. Ad extensions. Show extra business information with your ad, like an address, a phone number, store rating, or more web page links. can see how this looks in the screenshot here. In smart campaigns, these get set up automatically. More extensions. If you're creating a search campaign in expert mode, you can add more extensions such as price, promotion, structured snippet, app, or automated extensions. In this screenshot, you can see the information you might add in the price extension and how it will change in the look of your ad. Now, measuring success. The last part of the ad process is, of course, what kind of results did you get? When we first set up ads, we talked about having a goal for each ad campaign. Do you remember the goals of the ads? Did your ad make it clear to people what action you wanted them to take? And did they take that action? Keep your goal top of mind when evaluating the performance of the ad. After your ad starts running, you can view reports to show the ad's performance. To interpret reports, you need to understand some terminology. Impressions. This is how often your ad is shown. An impression is counted each time your ad is shown on a search result page or other site on the Google network. Each time your ad appears on Google or the Google network, it's counted as one impression. Clicks. When someone clicks your ad, like on the blue headline of a text ad, Google counts that as a click. Impressions and clicks combined help learn another important term, click-through rate. Click-through rate tells you how many people have seen your ad and clicked on it. A conversion is an action that's counted when someone interacts with your ad or free product listing. So for example, someone clicks a text ad or views a video ad and then takes the action that you've defined as the goal of your ad. It could be making an online purchase. It could be calling your business from a mobile phone or signing up for your email newsletter. It's best to have the conversion in mind when you first create your ad. With Google Ads, you can measure conversions using a feature called conversion tracking. You're going to set up conversion tracking when you're going to put a pixel on your website. And that pixel is very easy to put in if you have a GoDaddy, Wix, or one of those template platform type website builders. If you have a WordPress site, you can have your programmer, website designer, whatever the title the person who's managing the website has, they can put that directly on the website. And then the conversion would be Google can tell if someone has clicked on the ad and gone to the website or taken that action, or filled out that form, or whatever that conversion is that you've defined. Smart campaigns offer simplified reports, including impressions, clicks, calls, and conversions, which are optional. This screenshot shows what a smart campaign looks like with just a few reported details in an easy-to-read format. Search campaigns in expert mode offer detailed reports, including ad groups, ads, landing pages, keywords, demographics, and many more. And it's great information because you can learn a lot about what people are looking for, maybe adjust your inventory. There's a lot of great, the cost per clicks, the dates, the times, it just goes into a lot of good detail. And again, expert mode is nothing to be intimidated by. Now, obviously, one of the big things I've talked about, and I always talk about, linking Google Ads with your Google Analytics. When you set up that Google Ads account, you have the option to link it to that account. Google Analytics, if you don't know, is a free product. Everyone should have it on their website. It's very easy to use, tells you the traffic, tells you the demographics, tells you the type of people who are coming to your site, if they like fashion, if they like cooking, if they're into sports or news. Tells you all that information through Google Analytics, tells you the time of day people are going to your website, which page is popular. Then, of course, link that to Google Search Console, which is another free product. That tells you the terms people are searching on before they get to your website. And the terms they're searching on right before they click. So those three components are free, and Google Analytics, whether you use it or not, I would suggest you get that set up with the idea that there may be a time when you want to use it for test it out for Valentine's Day special or a Mother's Day special that you're running. So linking those three really give you a lot of great information. Here's a recap. Text ads are a good starting point, but there are many other opportunities for you to showcase your products and services. And this slide illustrates the complexity of a consumer's online journey. Different people need different touch points before they're ready to use your products or services. For example, if you need a gift for the foodie friend, they do a search for gift ideas. That might lead you to a website that sells an essential spices collection, but then you might also find a YouTube video about how to spice up mac and cheese. And when you search to see if there's a retail store nearby, you might get a bonus email with a buy one, get one coupon. Setting up Google Ads helps your products and services appeal to potential customers, but you should also explore other ways to be online. YouTube is free, it's a Google product. That's a good channel to communicate. There's email, which again, I saw Constant Contact. There's MailChimp. There's a lot of great email programs. Social media, I mean, there's a lot of great ways to reach people. But today, obviously, we focused on Google AdWords. The easy way to set it up in Smart Campaign, the more complicated way in Expert. So we'll take a pause there. And if anybody has any questions, go ahead and pop them in the Q&A or the chat, and be happy to take them. We'll just kind of go back into that measuring success. I always like to stop there. People always want to talk about success, but realistically, and I'm going to put up my name and email and website in case you want a PDF of these slides, or if you just want to call me and ask me, hey, I have a quick question about any digital marketing topic or how AdWords works, no problem. So we'll talk a little bit about Pixel. Yeah, so this is a great question. How does Google know that the person actually filled out the form, right? Or Facebook, or any of these, any of the other advertising areas that we're going to pursue? So you're going to put, there's the pixel is going to go on the page where the form is, and there's the pixel when you set up that you want a form filled out. Then that pixel is looking for those fields to be filled out via the, the pixel's working either with your WordPress site, it knows the plugin, or it knows on GoDaddy or Wix if the form's been filled out, if it's been abandoned, if it's been half filled out. So it does work. It's the back-end technology of the pixel, the way they built the pixel, and the way they know the sites are built out. The exact technology, I wouldn't be able to explain, but it's based on the fact that you set up the campaign to be a conversion with the form filled out, and then that pixel is sitting on your website waiting for the form to be filled out. So whatever success metric your website page has that says the form has been filled out, it's usually, generally speaking, it's that button that says success. When someone fills out a form and something comes up that says success, or you filled out the form correctly, or the form gets submitted, that's generally the trigger that tells the pixel, hey, this person converted, let's charge you for that cost per conversion. So usually the simplest way to understand it is the form gets filled out, the success button appears, or the form gets submitted. And when that form is submitted, the pixel says, okay, let's charge that person. And that's going to be the same Facebook, it's going to be the same on a LinkedIn, and it's going to be the same with Google. So, and all of them are pretty much following the Google, the way Google has set it all up. So it does know based on that. Usually it's the movement to whatever the website considers a successful conversion. So whatever your website says is a success triggers the pixel to say, look, we got one. So, and if that doesn't make sense, please ask again. But one of the great things about Google AdWords, it's complex in that you have a lot of opportunity, but it's simple in that Google has been very good about trying to explain it and be transparent. One thing about Google and all Google products, and I don't sell Google products, but I can tell you I've been working with them for a long time. I was one of the first people, not one of the first, but in the first few years AdWords came out, I learned AdWords with the intent of trying to be able to work for people who wanted to do AdWords. The big mantra when you start taking training on Google products is, and you learn this in the history of Google, it's about the user experience. And if you don't satisfy the user experience, then you're not going to have success on Google. And that's why the ad needs to match the website, and the ad needs to match, and the ad needs to be a pleasant user experience. And you get judged on the content on the website, the web page it goes to, and the ad for your quality score, because Google wants people to use Google and you're kind of a slight, just a part of it. So okay, so this is a good point. So years ago, someone tried Google Ads, and the weekly budget was spent by a large amount of trolls clicking and calling to sell the cleaning services. So potential clients weren't, basically this person wasn't getting the right traffic, right? They weren't getting they were spending a lot of money, and maybe a competitor was constantly clicking on the ad to force that person to spend a lot of budget. So there's a couple of things I would do. I would take a cost per conversion approach and have them either fill out a form or have them make that conversion a call. Generally speaking, now what Google does, it tries to filter out the bad traffic. I would put the pixel down and make sure that someone actually goes to the site and takes an action, and then only pay for the actions is one way I would start to combat that. Try and make sure that the conversion is a call. I would have a small form, and then see if you can set up forms through plugins on WordPress to siphon out the bad email addresses. In terms of you only want you want companies who have actual email addresses with their vanity name in it. So sometimes if you're ever on a business website and you want to submit your Gmail, Hotmail, or Yahoo email, it says no, we only take email addresses with company names. And then that forces someone to have a company name, and generally that starts to discourage people when they start to have to fill out that form. So those are ways I would try and combat that. I would go back to Google Ads and try maybe 4 weeks and see if that's still the case. If that's still the case, you can complain to Google about some of the traffic that you're getting that isn't of quality. And Google does give refunds. Sometimes they'll notice. These days, what Google has done is if they feel like you're getting bad traffic from the ad, or someone is a troll, they will often give you a refund on that cost per click. So what they're looking for is someone who maybe has been constantly clicking on it from the same IP address, or from this, and they recognize that that's someone who's probably not a customer. You can also challenge some of the charges now, and they may give you a refund as well. So I wouldn't give up on Google Ads, but if you're a cleaning type company or something like that, you may want to consider, there's a LinkedIn ad and there's a Facebook ad where it automatically populates the person if they're interested, and they're populating that information from the profile. So for example, on LinkedIn, and this will kind of cuts down on some of the trolls. On LinkedIn, if you do a cost per acquisition and you want a lead and you want someone's name to be sent to you and their company and their email address, what LinkedIn and Facebook do is if you are interested and you click learn more and the form comes up, it automatically populates your information and then it's given to the advertiser. And that's one way that they've kind of cut down on the trolls, because if you signed up with LinkedIn for a certain email address and a certain company name, then it auto-populates for you, and then you get that information. Or on Facebook, same thing. So that's kind of a workaround, and not necessarily a Google workaround, but that I've had some success on that LinkedIn autofill, and then you're getting someone who's serious, right? Because on LinkedIn, you're paying for that lead generation, and so the first screen on the ad will say, Bob's cleaning service, and maybe because you're targeting companies and you're looking at people who are in operations. So let's say you're a cleaning company and it's Bob's cleaning company, and then you're going to try and get corporate accounts. So what you would do is you would take the corporate accounts targeted on LinkedIn for the operations or facilities manager, and on the first screen it would say, we do a great job. Are you interested in a quote? And then if they click yes, then it goes to a LinkedIn lead gen form that gets automatically populated with their information that they filled out on LinkedIn, and then you get that as a lead. So that would be a pretty nice workaround if you're skeptical about the kind of traffic you might get through AdWords. Facebook has a similar ad unit. Google AdWords, I don't believe, has an ad unit like that, but that would be my suggestion. I would say try it for about 4 weeks on a small budget. See if your website traffic increases, or try LinkedIn or Facebook. So the question is, if you pay a conversion using the pixel, do you also have to pay for the initial click to get the sign up form? No, because you're going to be paying a cost per the cost per conversion, or the acquisition, whatever the phrase people want to use these days. That's going to be the cost. So the click is just going to be someone clicked on it. You're going to want to know the click information, because you're going to want to know how many clicks versus how many conversions. So for instance, and that won't be an extra charge, but you'll want to know both. So if you have, 1,000 impressions and 50 clicks and 2 forms filled out, then my suggestion would be, we got to look at that landing page, what's on that form. Maybe you're asking for too much because you have a disconnect there. But if you have 100 impressions, 50 people clicked, and you have like 30 forms filled out, then you have a really good landing page. And that's the thing about these forms, name, first name, last name, email address. You can ask for a phone number. When you start to get really deep, that's when people start to turn away, and they don't always like to fill all that information out. So you test your landing page performance based on those clicks, but you'll be paying for the conversion. So great questions today. And that's again, and if you, like I said, on the Facebook, choose me. I don't discourage anyone on that, because they have a good academy blueprint. Facebook Blueprint is their Learn Facebook Ads product, and it's like a little college, and they're 3 to 5 minute videos or less, and they explain it to you in depth, quickly and easily, in a bite-sized manner, so you won't get lost when they present information to you. Google Ads, all their products, you can go to Google Ads and their courses for their products and understand a lot more than you do today without putting a lot of effort into it. But there are people who are knock down, drag out, making a living off of Google AdWords, and they are, that's a whole nother level of technical expertise and information that you might not want to get into, but you can learn a lot and set up that expert mode pretty quickly. I'd never discourage anyone to not have the confidence to do that. You can do it. You will have success, and don't be afraid of it at all, because it's a very simple way to get through. Let's see, we have, and I'm going to copy and paste someone's name here. They would like the presentation, and if you don't hear from me, please ask again. This will be on the website of. This will be hosted on the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce YouTube page. I'll also put everyone on my email list, and there are links to the presentations there. And again, you'll have my email address there, and I can send you guys whatever information you need. So in the expert mode, if you use Keyword Planner, put in your website to let it generate suggested keywords. How do you find out if these are the keywords people are searching on? Okay, great question. So your Keyword Planner, what the whole Keyword Planner is designed to do is to give you suggestions and tips for your product or your website. So what it's going to do, and this is a good Keyword Planner you can use for a lot of applications. You could look to see what's hot and trendy in your industry, what time of the year it's hot and trendy. Now, if you put the Keyword Planner and you put your website in, and it generates suggested keywords, how do you find out if these are the keywords? Because the Keyword Planner is going to tell you all the suggested keywords, all the impressions, possible clicks, the possible costs. It will give you a high range and low range, and it's going to give you all that information in front of you. So Keyword Planner also, now a lot of people, as you know, when they search on Google, they're searching, slingback, sandal, cork bottom. That's a long tail search query, right? Now, if you have those sandals in stock, then that's a keyword bucket I'd start to build off of, right? Because now you're only going to get those people looking for that exact sandal, right? If you just type in sandal and you make that as a keyword bucket, you're going to get people looking for all kinds of sandals. So when you're selecting those keywords and using that Keyword Planner tool, the Keyword Planner tool is going to give you cost impressions, and you can get cost impressions by month. You can get the high range, the low range. You can get a suggested budget. It's all there in the keyword planner is a big, it's like a report. And you can type in any word you want. You can base it on your website and your page. And it also give you direction. Now, a lot of people are saying use long tail search terms, which, again, I recommend long tail search word buckets if you really have that precise exact kind of inventory you want to drive people to. So as an example, I once did a keyword campaign for it's a beauty show called BeautyCon. It was in Los Angeles, and these stylists had specific kinds of haircuts. So I had 3 different keyword buckets based on short haircuts, everything from bob to whatever, all the different hairstylists. The more focused those short haircut keyword buckets were, the cheaper the ad became, the more focused the program became, and the lower cost per click, because the page was reflecting those keywords. So your page that you're driving traffic to has to reflect those keyword buckets, which has to reflect that ad. Those 3 things have to work together: the website, the ad, and the content on that site. That's what's going to affect your quality score. That's why some companies will pay $6 cost per click, and you might pay 50 cents cost per click. So you want to take that time and you want to choose those keyword buckets carefully. So one ad maybe has like a keyword bucket of 10 to 20 words. You're going to find that sweet spot. So when I started off with the one I was giving you an example of, I started off with just short hair, and I had a few terms for short hair. Then after I did some learnings, I started to break short hair out into 3 buckets with the exact kind of hairstyles, medium hairstyles, and long hairstyles. And then I really started to see costs drop. And that's what you're going to learn on the keyword planner, your website, your industry, and just knowing what you know about how people search, because you search as well. So those things can really work for you big time. If you take, and it's just a matter of taking some of that time to do that keyword planner research, look at the results you're getting, look at that search console, look at those analytics. You put all those 3 things together, and you should be able to spend not a lot of money on AdWords and get some results. You got to cap that budget though, right? So if you're running a lunch special, only advertise between 11 and 1, and Monday to Friday, that's going to save you a lot of money. If you're running a Mother's Day special, you're running it for 3 days or 5 days, whatever the lead up time is. You got to kind of use your budget in such a way that it's going to be really leveraged to the hilt. And that requires just a little bit of making sure your business and your advertising are working together. And you can set all this up. It's going to give you those options and choices in expert mode. So time for one more question. Hope I answered the questions. I would highly suggest playing around on the keyword planner tool once you set up an account, putting your website address in, and thank you for the comment. I appreciate that. Someone was saying it was a good presentation, excellent presentation. I'll have 2 more webinars next month. I haven't decided on the topics yet, but this is one I know